everyone, and welcome. And what is cooking in my fabulous kitchen today? We are going to focus on how to cook a piece of fish absolutely perfectly. My trick with fish is to serve it with a crispy skin, because then we look very restaurant style, and your family will really think that you've made a big effort. But there's just one trick that you need to know to get that perfect every time. Now, of course, it depends on what you can get in terms of fresh fish. So what I've got for us today is just some of those salmon portions that you get at your supermarket. And I choose the one, obviously, with the skin on. And like I said, you can use any fish that you can find. Whenever we're cooking a piece of fish, you must remember to season it first. So you can season it very simply with salt and pepper, or maybe even a lemon pepper. There's various things we can season it with. But we're going to do that, and then it goes in the pan. As you can see, I've seasoned both sides of the salmon just by using a cracked black pepper and this beautiful flake salt. Now, of course, you can use a sea salt or anything that you like. And again, the trick is always to get the pan nice and hot. So I've had that pan on just for about 20 or 30 seconds. I always give it a little spray out with some canola or some rice bran spray. If you are going to use olive oil, I find that that always sticks and ruins the whole shape of the fish. So one of those cheaper oils can handle the heat, and that'll be much better for you. The first side of the fish to go in the pan is going to be the side that we're going to present up on the plate. So it's obviously the side that doesn't have the skin on, and when we put that in the pan, make sure you get that lovely sizzle. You can wiggle it around just to make sure that it's not sticking to the pan, but we don't have to move this around. So make sure you're not moving it or playing with it too much. What I want to do is encourage that lovely seal, that lovely browning, which makes our fish look absolutely fabulous. And the trick to do it is nice hot pan, canola oil, and give it some time. Guys, we'll just check that that fish is nicely sealed. So just pop it over, have a look. We want that lovely brown crust, and then we know we are going to have gorgeous looking fish. Turn them all over. We're going to cook that skin just for about a minute on that side, because we're taking the skin off. That is the trick to making this skin nice and crispy, is actually removing the skin and cooking it all by itself. Guys, as you can see, I'll just jiggle this around so you can see, because of that canola or rice bran oil, that fish is not sticking to the pan, because when it does, like I said before, it's very stressful. So make sure you do this, and you'll live happily ever after in the kitchen. So that's been about a minute on that skin side. So using your tongs, get a nice pair of tongs, guys. That should all come off. If it doesn't come off in one piece, don't stress. You can actually cook them separately. So I'm going to take that skin off, and if you can see, it's all sort of soggy underneath. We're going to cook that side down, get it nice and crisp, and this fish is nearly ready to serve. I've now turned that heat down just a little bit. The fish is nearly cooked. I'm going to take that out in a second. Our lovely fish skin is just facing the other side down in the pan. That's going to encourage it to get nice and hot, crisp up and dry out. And then I'm going to show you two beautiful accompaniments that you can serve this dish with. Now, of course, we all love a beautiful potato mash, but what is quicker and much trendier these days is either a butter bean or a cannellini mash. Now, we can all get butter bean or cannellini beans in the tin at your supermarket. They are very economical. Pop that tin open, rinse those beans out. I've got a mid-sized pot here. I've got about 2 tins of butter beans there. Obviously, for a family of 4 or 6, that would be plenty. So if it's just a smaller amount, you can just use the 1 tin. Butter beans are not the sexiest color. I call them, they're basically like a beige color. So just to pop that color out and make them a more happy yellow, we're going to use our culinary spray tan, of course, turmeric, to pop out that color. Now, this is only 3 ingredients into the pot, and you'll live happy. Actually, that's 4 ingredients if we put the turmeric in. A little bit of dairy cream. If anyone in your family is dairy intolerant, you can use a coconut cream or leave the cream out completely. I'm also just going to add about half a little stock cube to season our beautiful quickie mash. And then stir that together, and we're just going to heat it through. The minute it's heated through, just 5 minutes, just stir it over the stovetop, put it into a food processor or take a stick blender to it, and your mash is done. Now to plate our masterpiece is the easy part. I've got my beautiful black plate. That's going to really pop out our bright yellow butter bean puree. And like I said, that was just done in a food processor. If it's a little bit too thick, add some hot water or some hot stock, and that'll thin it right down. I want it to be like a paste consistency, and all I'm doing is a little puddle in the middle of our plate there. Once we've done that, serve up your beautiful fish. And of course, choose the sexiest side. So I'm going to put it that side up. You can actually pull it apart and have it sort of broken in that puddle of puree. I have got that skin which I've drained on the kitchen paper. Now, if we have everything on our plate that is going to be soft, I mean the butter bean puree and the fish, I always say that's like old age home or baby food. So we want that crunch in there from our lovely skin, and that'll really give this a lovely texture and also looks very beautiful. So can you hear that crunch? It's absolutely fabulous. I'm just going to plant those up in there. Then I've got char-grilled vegetables. Now you can serve this with whatever vegetables that you want. We've got these little sexy little char-grilled baby carrots. They look fabulous. All I did, put them in a pan, nice and hot, a little bit of, just a little bit of oil, and get them really nice and black. That flavor will pop, and so will the color. I've also got some zucchini that I've just griddled off. You can have a steamed zucchini or even snow peas or anything like that. Obviously, I want some green on the plate. Just place them all over the place there. A little bit of lemon oil just to pop out this flavor, not too much. And remember, there was not much oil in our pan when we cooked the fish, so it's not going to be very greasy. It's going to be absolutely fabulous. And then last but not least, now you might not be able to get hold of these, but these are little micro herbs. If you can't find them, buy a little bulb of fennel. The tops of a fennel make a fantastic fake micro herb, and those just go on the top as the crowning glory. And there we go.